Hey, you guys, we're continuing the Trauma Bond series, and I'm just giving a moment as I know most people on my channel are not even being notified. My subscribers are telling me all the time. Signs of a trauma bond in a relationship. And we just completed the scary aspects, or basically the scary parts of being in a trauma bond, the most detrimental things about it, basically. And what I'm going to do right now is the signs of the trauma bond in a relationship. And then I've also decided to do how to break a trauma bond after this one. How to break a trauma bond after this one. And I think I said this a couple of live chats ago because I've done several tonight. I'm pumping this content out right now because the twins are turning 5 this weekend. And I know I'm going to be like a little busy with the party and all of that good stuff. I wanted to get this content out to you guys this week. So I'm just dumping it in here and, take what you can to help you on your journey, of course. Trauma bonds are a serious thing, and I just want to increase the awareness about that. I will go back and create a playlist so that all of these, the videos to the Trauma Bond series will be in a playlist. Make it nice and easy for you guys to go back to it whenever you need reinforcement or you need to find some information. And I'm breaking this up instead of making a gigantic live chat because it just adds to better structure. And you might be in different places in a healing process. You might want to focus on a certain aspect. This way you don't have to go through like a 3-hour live chat and find timestamps and all this other stuff. So to me, it's just more organized this way. But let's go ahead and jump in it. I believe I have 24 things on this list. So signs of a trauma bond in relationship. Number 1, it's hot and cold. Of course, if you're doing the cycle of abuse, love bomb, devalue and discard, that's going to be a hot and cold energy. Number 2, you guys, extreme highs and lows. Yeah, that makes sense. But we can add in there extreme emotional highs and lows as well. That might make it a little bit more specific for number 2. But number 1 and number 2 have something in common, and that's inconsistency. You're going to have inconsistency, and that's why you got hot and colds and extreme highs and lows. But at the same time, you're going to have a consistent chaos as well. A consistent chaos. Number 3, signs of a trauma bond in a relationship. A lot of really terrible stuff is happening, and then occasionally really great stuff is happening. And we'll put the great stuff in quotes. At least it's going to feel great, because it's relief from the abuse and the poor behaviors. Number 4, the relationship goes from 0 to 100. So we're not trauma bonding in a relationship without there being some type of love bomb. So just be careful. You meet somebody and they want to move super duper fast with you. And, I'll say this on the side. Yes, there are people who may have just jumped into a relationship and they felt like they just knew, and those people are still together today, and it's not a narcissist and empath paradigm. Maybe they actually really do, But those are the exception to the rules. Those are definitely the exception to the rules. But if a relationship is going from 0 to 100 or someone's trying to do that with you, that is the beginning stages of creating a trauma bond. Chances are. Number 5, you guys, you feel close even though you're strangers. And that's that whole 0 to 100 thing. And then it may also be because when a narcissist is love bombing you, they're mirroring you. So they're acting like, we're two peas in the pod, we're twinning and all this type of stuff energy. I'm like you type of thing. So you'll feel close to them even though you're strangers. Now, don't confuse this. Some people may confuse this. Oh, this is my soulmate. This is my twin flame. Like, you just have to be so careful about throwing those type of words around, when you start feeling super connected with someone that may be psychologically manipulating the mess out of you in that moment and love bombing you. So be careful. Number 6, you have an extreme fear of leaving the relationship. And I have to say extreme fear, because it can be healthy to be in a marriage or relationship and have a fear, like, man, I don't want us to end up in a divorce or something like that. But we're talking about an extreme fear here, because when you're trauma bonded with someone, you're kind of seeing them as an extension of yourself, basically. So it feels like you're losing a piece of yourself at that point if you leave that relationship. So then there's an extreme fear because of that. There's an extreme fear of leaving the relationship. And that's called enmeshment as well. Number 7, you guys, you feel they're the only ones who could fulfill your needs. Do you know how many survivors that I've had to remind that there's billions of people on the planet? I've said that in so much of my previous content. When people just don't want to let go of what's not serving them, and there's going to be so many other options of more compatibility. And I'm talking about in a romantic sense, but you can trauma bond in non-romantic situations, and we'll talk about that on the How Trauma Bonds Are Created video. But yeah, you may feel, and I had to use the word feel, because how I feel about that word feel doesn't make it a fact, right? You feel like they're the only ones who can fulfill your needs. Number 8, you guys, you feel yet again like they are a part of you. Okay? You feel like they're a part of you. Number 9, is your relationship filled with lots of empty promises or future faking or basically false hopes or a false sense of security? That's a trauma bond right there. Number 10, there's extreme manipulation occurring. Okay? Can a non-trauma bond relationship have any elements of manipulation? Of course. Of course. Manipulation isn't an all negative word to begin with. But in a trauma bond situation, there's extreme manipulation that's occurring. Like someone has violated you to the highest degree and then expects their rinky-dink apology to be enough to reel you back in. That's extreme manipulation right there. Something that should have just been a one and done. Something that should have burnt a bridge between you and them, and they're able to actually get you to come back in. And yeah, there's psychological reasons for that, but we're still calling this extreme manipulation occurring at that point. Number 11, the false hopes and promises that they're giving you is fulfilling some type of deep personal need. Deep personal psychological need is what I probably need to put in there to make this one, come full circle. So whatever they're lying to you about that I was talking about in number 9 is fulfilling some type of void inside of you, psychologically, that you feel like you need, you need to hear that, or you need that intention to be said to you, whether it comes or not, because you're basically, like a donkey with a carrot in front of you on a string that you're never going to be able to catch. You're never going to be able to eat that carrot. Number 12, you feel loved and cared for, followed by being devalued and discarded. So, there's the contrast again. Sometimes I feel loved and cared for, and now I feel devalued and discarded. Like, where's the consistency there, right? You're not going to have. Number 13, you guys, abusers, they minimize their poor behaviors or they'll gaslight your reality. So are you with someone that really can't take full accountability? Or they've done something horrific and they're trying to make it like the complete other end of the spectrum? This is what's happening in a trauma bond. Number 14, you guys, it becomes increasingly difficult to see the other person clearly when they're, alternating acts of love with abuse. And I have to put acts of love in quotes there because not, yeah, that's what it is, an act of love. But yeah, it becomes increasingly difficult for you to see the person clearly. That's another way you can know you're in a trauma bond, because it's all of this oppositely, both end of the spectrum type of experiences and behaviors that, are going on. Number 15, they don't empower your independence and they completely promote codependency. So you'll find, like let's say there was a stay-at-home mom and she decided, I'm going to go back to college and get a degree. And then that narcissist starts getting an attitude or making things stressful the day of her exam, or even when she's just trying to sign up for classes. I'm not giving you the money for that. That's a waste of money. Or try to convince the survivor why this isn't a good idea. It's not a good time, or try to even get you pregnant and, get you sidetracked in some type of way. So you're in a trauma bond situation when they don't want to empower you to be independent. They want to keep you barefoot and pregnant, so if you will. And I'm going to sidebar here. I'm just going to sidebar here. That was just an example. And I'm in no means coming against anyone that has like 20 kids or that want to have children and not have a career or go to school. That is completely fine. Anyone that's been around my channel know I love that. But yeah, they want to disempower you to be independent. That's for sure. And it can work in all types of other ways too. Number 16, you guys, others are concerned or disturbed by the interactions or experiences or the configuration of your relationship with them. All right. And remember, people from the outside, they're not trauma bonded. They're thinking more with their logic and not their emotions. They're seeing the situation differently. So, yeah, sometimes other people looking from the outside in, they can see a situation better. Because sometimes we might think, well, they're not here with us day to day. They're not up close on it. They don't really have all the facts. They don't know this and that. But actually, sometimes people looking from the outside may actually be able to see the situation better because they're not going to be conflicted with their emotions and their feelings of love for that person, or their feelings of, responsibility to them, or this and that. Okay. Number 17, you guys, you feel like there's nothing you can do. Basically, you're not seeing your options in this relationship. And that's another way that you can know that you're trauma bonded. And I was just going over this a little bit in the last live chat where I was talking about how your mind is working against you, or at least the part of your mind that plans and has long-term thinking and thinks about consequences. When you have a trauma bond with someone, those type of things are shut off or not working efficiently when you're going through the crisis moments. Okay. Number 18, it feels unbearable to leave. So this is obviously a symptom of someone who feels enmeshed with someone else. Like, instead of it just being like two amazing people coming together, like, wow, it's really great when I spend time with them. It's like, no, this person is a part of me type of thing. That's how you know it's a trauma bond. Like, where do I end and where do you start? Because two healthy people can come together and have an amazing time and have an amazing connection and not feel like it's unbearable to leave. Maybe I don't want to leave, or I'll be really looking forward to the next time, but I can leave. Or if it's, we really have these great times together, but we really shouldn't be together on this level, then I could still leave because, we're two individuals. But that's not happening when there's a trauma bond. Number 19, you guys, you feel indebted to the abusive person. And I was talking about this in the last live chat where I was saying how someone might think, or the abuser might say, you're all that I have. And then that makes you trying to invoke that feeling, that caregiver feeling, or that empathy, or trying to guilt you into it, or just giving you that responsibility. So feeling indebted to that person definitely happens in a trauma bonded relationship. Number 20, friends and family don't support the relationship. Now, sidebar to this one as well, it doesn't mean that people can't be haters. Yeah, but we're talking about in the context of a trauma bond. In the context of a trauma bond. So if none of your friends and family see where this is good for you, you really have to question that, okay? 21, you guys, you try to be all things to the abuser. So this is a situation where I'm like, you're not just the wife, you're the wife, you're the therapist. You're just wearing all these hats to try to be everything to this abuser. That means that you're filling voids for that person that chances are they're supposed to be filling for themselves. And this adds into that feeling where you feel like you can't be separated from them. But hold on, I need to drink some water. Yeah, I think this is going to be my last live chat because my throat has had enough. I mean, energy wise, I feel like I could do more videos, but my throat said no. I'm just going to take a little bit more water and I'll be right back. All right, you guys. So let's keep going here. Number 22. This is a big one. This is a big one in knowing that you're in a trauma bonded relationship. Lopsided power dynamics. Yeah, that is a big one. That is a big one. And obviously, the narcissist is, controlling the situation, and the empath has handed over their power to the narcissist. Yeah. So, number 23, statements like, why don't you just leave? They become complicated for you at that point. In your mind, it's complicated, but that's how you really know that you're trauma bonded, because when you're not trauma bonded and someone's abusing you, it's obvious what you need to do. It's obvious that that's the thing to do, is to leave. So the trauma bond, if someone said, why don't you just leave? And that's like complicated to you, you're trauma bonded to that person. Why else would you be questioning whether you should be staying if that person is abusing you? You see what I'm saying? So the last thing I have here for the signs of a trauma bonded relationship is it's an exploitive relationship. And, that's basically when someone is being exploited, you guys, for something or for some reason, So if you feel like you're in a relationship where you're being exploited, there could be a trauma bond being formed there. And people can be exploited for more than just money. So I want you guys to, I always like for you guys to try to see as many angles as you can on a channel like this. You could be exploited for having a big heart. You could be exploited for being too forgiving. And here goes this person that I always have to block. And I'm going to see if I could find them when I get off of here. It's like they purposefully come to the live chats on this channel and try to cause something. But yeah, you guys, I'm doing a trauma bond series, and a lot more content is going to be coming out to help you guys with it. Let's see here. DJ says the word uncertainty comes to mind throughout the trauma bonded relationship. Yeah, I couldn't leave because I knew I would be in danger for my life. Yeah, and that's something that I definitely want to address as well. I definitely want to address as well a lot of fears. And, there's definitely a planning stage that should happen in those type of situation, and the plan should include the plan to leave the situation, and then the plan to be safe after you have left the situation, because it's one thing to get out of there, and then it's another thing to have that ongoing security that you want to feel. Hold on a minute. But my question, DJ, is were you able to leave that situation? Because it sounds like you may be talking in a past tense right now. I'm hoping that you are. Were you able to actually leave? Are you still there, DJ? You got me worried about you. Oh, he eventually left you. Okay. 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 Well, that was to your advantage. He must have gotten another supply or something. Mm. Well, I'm glad that you got out. Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. I mean, I can see why. I can see why it would be a good thing for them to do it, because then it was their idea. Then they get to feel like they discarded you, and they were the ones in control, and you were the one that got rejected. It's all about their perceptions, whether it was the reality or not. It could have been reverse psychiatry. You were just biding your time. And you know how some people in relationships, they try to actually get the other person to break up with them first because they don't want to be the one to break up for some reason. And obviously, you had a serious reason in this case. So, yeah, I can see why you would say that. But I'm glad that you're out of that situation, because I told people on this channel, I think back in December, I was talking with everyone, and I told them that I wanted to shed more light on these type of toxic situations, because every day it's so sad that women and men, but mainly women, and particularly Black women, are losing their lives a lot by dealing with, these narcissistic, toxic men, dating down and just bringing the wrong people into their lives, into their children's lives, and they end up paying the ultimate price. And we really had to take it serious. I mean, sometimes we could sit on here and laugh about some of the narcissist foolishness, but even when they're taking people's lives, and especially then, they're cowards, but they're coward enough to do stuff like that when they're running off of their emotions. And it's a very serious thing. I'm so glad that you got out of this situation, DJ, because I'm serious. Every day I hear horrific stories about people who did not get out alive. People getting killed in front of their children, people and their children getting killed. Like, it's crazy. It's really crazy. You have to be so careful. Yeah, so you're saying it turns out he exploited women for money as a pattern in his life. Yeah, so he was a gigolo. That's called a gigolo and a womanizer. But I'm so glad that you got out of his grasp. God bless you. Like, DJ says he's from South Africa. I met him in Florida. I'm white. Was naive. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. But, I'm sure you've increased your emotional maturity at this point. And you need to take every single one of those lessons with you. I'm telling you, like, sometimes being single could save your life. And it is so much better to be single than to be in bad company. It is so much better. All right. I think I'm going to stop here for the night. As I was saying in the beginning of this video, my throat was just like, no. I mean, I'm feeling better now that I've drunk my water. That's why I think I didn't drink enough water today. And when you're talking like this, you just don't want to be dehydrated, But DJ, I don't think I've really seen you. Are you new to the channel? I don't see your name a lot on my live chats and stuff. Not sure. But if you are, welcome to the channel and thank you for dropping in on the live chat. I've just uploaded some other live chats in case you missed those. You said he took my car without my knowledge and traded it into a dealer. Really? So he must have just did a whole bunch of illegal stuff. So, assuming your car was paid off, he took your title, forged your name on it, and signed it to himself, and then just, wow. So you could see what he was. He was an opportunist trying to make a come up off of you. Okay. Oh, great. Oh, well, it's nice to interact with you. Now I know who you are. If I see your name, I know you a little bit more, Oh, well, who did a deal with him that way? It sounds like the deal is not legitimate then. I mean, were you able to reconcile that situation in your life? Did you just get another car? Did you just charge that to the game or? Oh, he put your car up. Okay. He used it for collateral. Okay. He used it for collateral. Okay. I don't know. I was thinking that you were saying he traded it in for something. That's like giving it to them and getting something else and then getting money for the car towards another one. But Okay, he put it up as a collateral. Wow. Wow. And then I guess stuck you with the bill or something. I mean, of course, you don't want to lose your car. So trifling. No more dusties, DJ. No, because I could just feel the dust falling off of him, and I don't even see what he looks like, but just with his behaviors. Wow. That's messed up. I know it was not worth any type of love bomb he was giving to you. No more dusties, girl. I'm telling you, 2022. Look, rock out by yourself, eat at a table by yourself. That's better than losing your money to some dusty ass dude. Okay. Right. Right. And that lets you know he's been manipulating people for quite some time. Finagling, we'll call it that. Sadie Garcia says, my ex just came back asking for a second chance after he pushed me away because of another woman. Ha! Ha! Girl, you better stay in your strength. Stay in your strength. Do not take him back, because he's always going to feel like you're the fallback girl that he can come to. And then if he feels like the grass is greener somewhere else, oh, she'll be waiting in the wings. She'll take me back. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, at least that's not my advice. I wouldn't tell you to do that at all, for so many reasons. You don't deserve that. You deserve somebody that would never want to leave you, basically, that values you enough to not feel like the grass is greener someone else, and then have the audacity to feel like they could just come back after it doesn't work out. Mm-mm. And then that person's not taking that serious anyway. He's making you a placeholder at that point, someone he can deal with in between, because he probably is a narcissist that can't be by themselves. They're relationship junkies. They need something. I don't think so. And you're probably a good person, loyal and all that. You deserve better, honey. DJ says, was alone for 17 years before I met him as a single mom, literally single. Being single was fine. Yeah, but at the same token, it depends on how you were socializing. Like, maybe you were single but you went on dates here and there, or you had somebody that was like a friends with benefit, or if you was just single. Sometimes when it's that type of situation and you've been that isolated, it actually can make you very prime for a love bomb, because they're going to be triggering feelings inside of you that you've been out of touch with for quite some time. You know what I mean? And it may feel really good to feel those feelings, or it may feel really good to be sexually active again. Okay. And that's where we have to be so careful. And I said this a few live chats ago, where I was saying how the two main times that a narcissist will come into your life, when things are going really good or when things are going really bad. You're just minding your business, or maybe you may have been feeling deprived too, being single that long, because as much, and everybody has their different temperaments. Everybody's not the same, but we're all human beings and we're wired a certain way. And I do think a part of a general healthy lifestyle is to be able to have intimacy. you know So that's a long time. That's a long time, DJ. And a lot of survivors that I've had in coaching sessions, they were celibate and single for quite some time. Then that next person that they finally opened up to, it was a narcissist. And they went from 0 to 100 with that narcissist, because they were so deprived of affection and intimacy and socializing and dating and being out and about. So that actually might have actually helped the narcissist get in with them. And then sometimes when you're out of the game for that long, you could be a little bit rusty with things. You don't know what people may be up to nowadays, or, you kind of out of the loop a little bit. It reminds me, like, I married my first boyfriend and I was with him through all my 20s. And then once I was single again, I was like, well, I haven't been single since the darn 90s. Well, I was in high school then, but I graduated in 99. But the whole point is, since the early 2000s, I'm like, whoa, it's like over almost 2 decades for you, 17 years. You know what I mean? Things are just different at that point. You're welcome, honey. You are so welcome. I just don't want you to give that person another chance. I want you to stay strong with that. Find you feel if you feel like you had a soul tie, anything with this guy, or if you don't get no type of fear mentality or lack mentality, like what's for you is for you, and you deserve better than that. We're not going backwards at all. We're going forward. Fill voids with other things, whatever voids he was filling in your life. Lean on your real friends and family and support system. Like, you got this, girl, but you deserve so much better than that. Shoot, this is where he can get his karma. Don't you block his karma. He will never be able to sit at your table again. And you better keep yourself looking fly and good and keep it pushing. What? This is time for him to get his karma at this point. DJ said first thing he did was love bomb, of course, which felt wrong. Force just met him randomly by chance. Yeah, and that's true. Sometimes when you, um, there's so many ways that things could play out. Sometimes when you have been reserved for so long and somebody's coming on, he's like, whoa, like, it might, you may feel that way. People respond one way or the other. Either they just get swept away in it, like, oh, it feels nice finally again, or it could be alarming, But I'm glad that the love bomb was alarming to you. Like, what's the rush? Because that's the other energy. Like, I waited this long. What I need to jump into something with you for? It's kind of like that person. Well, I didn't be celibate for 4 years just to go hop on the first thing that I see, But everybody, it depends on the energy that you're in. It really does. But I'm so glad. That's a very good sign that you're not in like a codependent energy per se. But maybe you I don't know. Either you were too trusting about something. I don't know. It's something. He had too much access for sure. Even if you weren't codependent with him, but he was given too much access. DJ says, never knew about narcs before that gigolo. I was rusty. He was dusty. Oh my gosh. Yeah, but you know what? We do live and learn. We do live and learn. And based off of what I was talking about with people losing their lives and stuff, girl, if if your karmic debt in this situation was, it took you 8 months to get this car situated, girl, you got your life, you got your health, your kids are safe and that person is removed. I'm not trying to minimize what you went through at all, but I'm so happy that, it wasn't a worse situation for you. DJ says, I just assumed that was his style or personality, the love bombing. I mean, yeah, and some people, I will say this, there are some people who naturally do kind of come on more strong. There are people like that. But, time would tell. Time would tell, because we know if it's a narcissist and it's a love bomb, there's going to be a devalue and a discard. So time would tell if they're love bombing or just being themselves, so to speak. DJ says 4+ years caring for that user. And I just, And you know, Dusties, they want to benefit off of every little crumb that they can. And that's why they're like little vampires just sucking. Oh, it's disgusting. It's so disgusting. But hopefully, I know that you have sworn off Dusties for the rest of your life, honey. I mean, most women have had at least one little experience with a Dusty on some type of level. But be one and done. Say, and then this is the other thing. You don't even make a Dusty a friends with benefits, because the sex does not balance out for everything else. And everything else, like if you had an unplanned pregnancy, like you just never want to lay down with a Dusty, period. Because anything could pop off. Number one, some of his dust can get on you. You have a freaking STD, anything. Then you definitely don't want any unplanned pregnancies that he can't even take care of, a mouth. Like, he's already a child, okay? He don't even deserve to be able to smell it. So Garcia says he was the first man in my life. It was 4 years on and off with no commitment. Now he's ready to try things with me after he was dealing with the other woman. By the way, I'm 24 and he's 37. Oh, yeah. See, he's too old for that. He's too old for that. And you're good. You have plenty of time to find a better husband. Okay? Trust me. And then 4 years on and off with no commitment. So that meant he was what? He was 33? Mm-mm. No, but just the fact that he was willing to run off to somebody else and come out. He thinks you're young and dumb. Mm-hmm. He thinks you're young and dumb. I'm telling you that right now. Yeah, and don't give no guy that kind of time in your life unless you're getting a commitment out of it. It don't take nobody that long to figure out if they want to be with you or not. I mean, that's if you're even marriage minded, because you're only 24. You know. Mm-mm. DJ says, I'm coming back to my senses and return of the market. Oh my gosh, what's that song? You lied to me. I hate that song, but I think it's called The Return of the Mac or something else. Oh my gosh. But yeah, we've gone over the signs of a trauma bond. Yes, we have. For those of you who come in, definitely go back and listen to those. And like I said, I'm doing a trauma bond series, so there's going to be a lot more content on the topic of. I really want to educate you guys about the trauma bond and really stress the importance of breaking it. Okay? Important on your healing journey. As a matter of fact, you can't get healed without doing that part. Like, you can't skip over that. But thank you, DJ, and thank you. Is it Sadie Garcia? Thank you for joining in. It's always great to interact with you guys. You know, I love doing that. Sadie says, I learned my lesson. Thank God for your advice. I watched your videos. Yeah, I'm happy for you. You're so young. Oh my God. And you're watching these videos. You already are ahead of the game, young lady. You are ahead of the game. You know, I give coaching to people in their 70s at time who are just learning about narcissists. You're 24. You're on this channel. You're getting all this content. You should be so emotionally mature. There's so much for you. Just suck it in. Take what you can. Like, learn this psychology. It will help you in life. I'm telling you, my mother passed away when I was 7, and I didn't have a woman that, schooled me on game and all this and that. I didn't have that. And that's why I make a channel like this. I mean, to help men and women, but, that's definitely a part of it, to help the young ladies out here know the game. You're going to be so ahead of yourself, so ahead of things. And, the guys are just going to see this pretty little 24-year-old and they ain't even going to know. You're 24 going on 50 mentally because you know better. You already know. DJ says he is actually married, but always talked about his ex, who is a widow, over 20 years older than him. Oh, yeah, of course, where he can continue to be the child. She always got angry with him when they would go out and he would talk to everybody in the bar. Right. She knew what it was. She was paying for the peen, And yeah, a lot of times those foreigners, when they come over here, they have wives in those countries. They may, deny them or acknowledge them. You never know. But in a lot of other cultures, people get married early. They're expected to settle down. And they'll be divorcing like Americans, but they damn sure will have affairs and doing stuff like what he did, coming over to America, having double and triple and quadruple lives, and taking money from American women and possibly sending it back there. But he sounds so dusty, he needed it to survive his damn self. Girl, so glad you got out of that dusty situation. All right, you guys. Oh, hold on. DJ said something else. I want to add something interesting. My daughter of 22 years told me that people in her generation are aware of narcissism. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That over the last, 3 years, I want to say, that word has become like very popular now. Thank God. Thank God, because it wasn't back in the 90s or the early 2000s. But yeah, I want to say like over the last 3 years, if anything, people may be overusing that word nowadays. Everybody isn't a narcissist, but hey, I'm just glad that it has a platform and people are getting more and more aware. So, but you got to take the good with the bad. Now people just have to get properly educated about it. That's all. So, and that's why we got to help grow these channels by sharing my videos and liking and stuff and pushing it out there. Gives it momentum. DJ says he shipped cars and trucks to Africa. Oh, wow. Oh. So they're in bed together. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Mm. Well, hopefully her husband is sleeping in peace because his earthly wife. And what she said, my generation. Well, I don't think anybody should be. No, it doesn't even have to be. You guys didn't know any better, but now you do, though. So I think people are using that word so much that all generations can kind of, you know, pick up on things. Yeah. But yeah, the people in their 20s, they have an advantage. They're coming around at a time where people are using that word. Shoot, they weren't using it back in the day. Yeah, she was blindsided, but she has to see now and she's just settling for it. So a lot of time, it sounds like she has low self-esteem and all types of stuff from what you're describing to me. DJ says, had him arrested for domestic violence. Oh, no, not that. Mm-mm-mm. Well, you know what? Let her be the distraction then while you get out. Look, it would be great if both of you could get out, but hey, she married him. Aw. Thank you, hon. And it was great spending time with you. Love it. Love it. And I look forward to seeing you in other live chats because there are going to be more to come. Try to hit the bell so you know I'm notified, you know. But even if you miss it, it'll be re-uploaded. But thank you for spending time with me, and it was great talking with you. And I guess I'm gonna close this one out like I normally do my videos. Never give up on you guys. Never give up on yourselves. Continue to do the work. And until next time, please take care. Yeah, yep, it's a new sucker. They'll find out. But you know what? The relationships with a narcissist, it gives that new person needs to learn some lessons. And they're probably very similar lessons that you just had to learn, you know? And that's how God uses the narcissist over and over. Even if they never change, they use, you know, the pain that they're causing on other people to get them to reconnect with themselves and see where they have cracks in their foundations and when they need to tighten up, you know, and improve upon. So, yeah, he'll spend his whole life doing people wrong, but those, you know, pain is a good way to get somebody's attention. I'll tell you that right now. People tend to respond to pain. So, if it hurts enough, it should get your attention. And then, you know, at that point, God may have had to scream at you. But you know what? At least you finally heard him. You got the lessons. You keep moving. But thank you. I'm going to share. Some of the pictures or videos. I might make a little something to share here on the channel because it's really sweet. Like my subscribers, they know about the twins, and since they were babies. I made this channel when they were babies. So I want you guys to see how big they've grown up, and I'm just excited. They're turning 5. They're having a Minnie Mouse themed birthday party. We rented out a Chuck E. Cheese, and we're going to have a good time. Yeah, almost, but it didn't. It didn't. And we all have our dark night of the soul moment, you know, where we have to really, really get up and pick ourselves up. But you did it, and you're here today, and you lived to tell, and it made you stronger. So don't worry. Trust me, you're not the only one. You're not the only one who had to go through something harsh like that. There's a whole community of us, and we are survivors, and we're strong as fuck. So, and wise as fuck, okay? From the School of Hard Knocks. I don't think so. I don't. I think I've done my duty in the Earth population. I've had 6 children altogether, DJ. The twins are just the last ones. They're my babies. So I'm enjoying them. I'm loving on them. I be still cradling them and kissing their necks and smelling behind their ears. I really do baby them. I'm enjoying it. But they are babies, you know? They are babies. They haven't even started kindergarten yet. You are so right, Miss B. The trauma bond really isn't a joke. So I'm definitely going to be giving a lot of attention to it here on the channel. I already have lots of videos up, you know, about trauma bonds for you guys to look at. Like if you put trauma bond and reflection and progression in the YouTube search bar, all the videos that I've already made are going to come up. And then I'm going to the next level with this content. Okay. So I think we've done 2 things off of the list so far. And I believe there's 7 videos for this Trauma Bond series. So there's definitely going to be more to come with that. I know. Yes, I had 6 children, DJ. Yep, I sure did. I know, but my oldest is 20 now. My oldest is 20. They're not all little. So my oldest is 20. And then I have my daughter who's 19 and my son who's 16. So I had 3 kids in 4 years. What? Look, you know I was in my 20s then. And then I had Nathan. He's 11. He'll be 12 in March. And then there's the twins. Oof. And they took the last bit of energy I had too. So I don't see me having any more children. I don't know if I have the energy or the patience, or if I would even want to make the energy or the patience. Shoot, even if it was on some Janet Jackson thing, because she had a baby when she was like 50 for that Arabian guy. But then, she had that prenup for like what, $125 million? Would I do it for that? Well, would I do it for that? I wouldn't have to lift a finger. I mean, I would have to give birth, but you have a real support staff with that. That I don't know. That might be a little bit different. If I could have the babies under them other pretenses, okay. Oh my gosh. Thank you, DJ. God bless you too, honey. And hey, Heather Marie. Miss B says, I'm glad narcissism is being talked about for people to understand this mess. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's what we were just saying before you came in. People really do need to start understanding it now that we know that the word is out there. Because DJ was saying how, people weren't talking about it that much back in the day. I was like, yeah, over the last 3 years, it's probably being overused. Now it's just really getting that education out there. And we talked about, for those of you who just came in, we went over 24 signs, basically 24 signs of being in a trauma bond relationship. So you can go back and listen to that. And then we just, as with all live chats, I do answer questions as long as you don't mind if I answered it in front of whoever's here or whoever's going to listen to this video in live. But yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Other than that, I have private coaching that I still offer, and my website is lakiacrawford.com. All right. And DJ says, I only had one, but was a single mom, wouldn't change a thing. Yep. And everybody has their path. Awesome. Heather follows me on Facebook. Do you follow me on my personal Facebook or on the support group, or both? I have subscribers that do both. Yeah, they are a predator. They definitely are a predator. Oh my gosh, I was talking and I was muted the whole time. I'm not even going to repeat myself. That was crazy. Do you do TikTok? There are a lot of creators that talk about narcissism. I don't. There's so many platforms coming out all the time. I don't. I probably should. I know I should. I really know that I should, but I haven't jumped on the bandwagon. But yeah, Heather, I was trying to explain the difference between the two profiles, how you can know on the support group I have on the red shirt, and then I have the books behind me. And then on my private one, I have on my 40th birthday outfit or something like that, and then the kids are in the background. So, it's more like just family photos. You're not going to see all of those. Here's our deli thread. If you have any issues, go underneath. You're not going to see all of that. But no, I don't have a TikTok, and I should. I know. Like, I'm probably missing out on major promoting by not doing that, you know. But I don't know. It's a lot to try to keep up with all the social media platforms. And I work a 9 to 5, you guys, and I work like 65 hours a week at that job. So on top of the children, okay? So I'm a busybody. I'm definitely a busybody. So when I come on here, it's a great way for me to relax, and I absolutely love psychology. I have 2 finance degrees. Sometimes I think about going back to school for psychology so that, in my life coach business or whatever, I could start taking you guys' health insurance too. Sometimes I think about that. Something to think about. I love psychology so much. It's something to think about. But I'm going to go ahead and go off of this live chat. It was great touching bases with you guys and everyone that trickled in at the very end. Awesome. Just go back to the beginning and you'll get the actual content. All right, you guys, have a good evening. It is 3:00 in the morning. It doesn't feel like it. It doesn't. It really doesn't feel like it for me. It's crazy. I've been like so wired lately. So wired. But I'm going to force myself to go to sleep at this point because tomorrow I have to do the twins' hair. Okay. And then I got to fold a crap load of laundry as well. And I'm scheduled to work. Okay. So, but I work from home. So I'll be multitasking. Yeah. 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 They are the people that need the help because, people will say, well, the narcissist needs help. We get rid of them, but they don't, they're not looking to change. So it's no point in wasting your energy with them. Not really. Yeah. Yeah. And I have lots of green tea downstairs and honey, you know. All right, honey. Well, thank you for that tip anyway. And I will see you guys in the next live chat. Please take care.